My neighbor smiled every day. Not the polite kind of smile. Not the quick nod you give someone while checking your mail. No, it was the same wide, cheerful grin, like he knew something the rest of us didn't. His name was Mr. Callahan. Late 40s, divorced, lived alone in the house next to mine for about 2 years. He waved at everyone. He baked cookies during the holidays. He shoveled snow from other people's driveways before his own. If you had asked me back then, I would have said he was the nicest man on the street. But there was one thing that always bothered me. His basement windows were covered. Not boarded up, just covered. Thick, black curtains pressed tightly against the glass. Day and night. Even in summer. I remember joking about it with my wife once. Maybe he's growing something illegal down there. She laughed. Or maybe he just likes his privacy. Maybe. But I never once saw those curtains open. Not even a crack. The first time something felt wrong was on a Tuesday night, around 2 a.m. I woke up to a dull thud, like something heavy hitting concrete. At first, I thought it was a dream. Then it happened again. Thud. Pause. Thud. It was faint, but it was coming from outside, from his yard. I looked through our bedroom window. His backyard light was on, and I could see him, standing near the basement door, dragging something, long, wrapped in what looked like a tarp. I told myself it was yard work, or maybe he was cleaning out old furniture. At 2 a.m., in the dark. The next morning, he smiled at me like always. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" I nodded. I almost asked him about the noise, but something about the way he looked at me stopped me. His eyes didn't match the smile. They were tired and watchful. A week later, the police showed up. 2 patrol cars. They knocked on his door. He stepped outside, still smiling. I watched from my porch. One officer spoke calmly. Mr. Callahan nodded, shook his head, shrugged, then pointed toward his backyard. I later learned that a woman had been reported missing. She lived 3 towns over. Her car had been found abandoned near the highway exit, less than 5 miles from our neighborhood. Witnesses said she had last been seen talking to a man at a gas station, a man who matched Mr. Callahan's description. But there wasn't enough evidence, so the officers left, and he kept smiling. That's when the smell started. It was subtle at first, metallic, sour, like something rotting. My wife thought it was a dead animal, maybe something trapped in the walls. But the smell was stronger near the fence we shared, near the basement windows. One evening, I saw him carrying large bags of soil into his backyard. Fresh soil. Too much for flower beds. He didn't have flowers. He had grass. Plain grass. That night, I couldn't sleep. The smell was stronger. I stepped outside around midnight. The air was cold, still, and I heard something. Not a thud this time. A sound. A faint, muffled cry. It stopped almost immediately. I froze. My heart started pounding. I stood there for a full minute, waiting. Nothing. Just silence. The next day, I called the police. I told them about the smell, the noise, the tarp. They took notes. They said they would look into it. 2 days later, they came back. This time with a warrant. Mr. Callahan opened the door, still smiling. I watched from my window as they walked through his house, room by room. Everything looked spotless, organized, perfect. Then they went to the basement. I couldn't see inside, but I saw the officers' expressions change. One of them stepped back up the stairs quickly, his face pale. More units arrived, then an ambulance, and then crime scene tape. The smile was gone. They brought him out in handcuffs. For the first time, he wasn't smiling. He looked annoyed, as if we had interrupted something important. We later found out what was in the basement. The black curtains weren't for privacy. They were for sound. He had installed foam insulation behind the walls, extra locks on the inside of the door. The tarp I saw him dragging? It wasn't yard waste. It was someone trying to escape. The missing woman from the gas station wasn't his first victim. There were others. Police found belongings, phones, wallets, pieces of clothing, but what they found beneath the concrete floor was worse. A hidden compartment, carefully sealed. He had been digging, expanding it. That's what the thuds were. What still haunts me isn't what he did. It's how normal he seemed, how friendly, how safe. We had invited him to barbecues. Our kids had waved to him. He helped carry our groceries once. And all that time, just a few feet away, there was a basement, soundproofed, hidden, waiting. I keep replaying every interaction in my head, every smile, every wave. Was he studying us? Choosing? The police said he targeted women traveling alone. Gas stations, late-night stops, easy conversations. He never forced anyone into his car. He convinced them. That's what scares me the most. He wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. He was the neighbor who brought cookies, the man who smiled every day. Until the police found the basement. The house is empty now, for sale. The curtains are gone, the windows open, but sometimes when the wind hits just right, I swear I can still smell it. And every time someone new comes to look at the property, I wonder if they'll ask about the basement, or if they'll just admire the garden and smile.